This is day 3 of the sport climbing events at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. And it's an exciting one because it's the very first medal day, with the famed gold, silver, and bronze being awarded in women's speed. We also witnessed the men's lead semifinal and now have combined scores for the men's boulder and lead event, which means the 8 climbers advancing to Friday's final have been decided. My name is August. Welcome to August Climbing. I hope you are enjoying these daily videos for key updates on sport climbing at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date over the coming days. And most of all, I look forward to geeking out with you in the comments over the results and predictions. We are on to the lead semifinal today in the men's boulder and lead event. The 20 competitors were given a 6-minute observation period to analyze the route before the competition began. Each climber was then given their own individual 6 minutes to ascend as high as they could on the lead route. However, unlike in the bouldering round where you get multiple attempts, once you fall, it's over. In this round, points were awarded based on how high the climber ascended the wall. There is a maximum score of 100 points for any climber who can reach the top of the lead route in under 6 minutes. It's the highest 40 holds on the wall that are assigned point values. And the further the climber goes up, the more each hold is worth. The highest 10 holds are worth 4 points each. The next 10 holds are worth 3 points each, and so on. To put the scoring into perspective, 70 of the possible 100 points can be gained only in the highest 20 holds on the route. The 20 holds below this would gain the climber only 30 out of 100 points. So climbing far into the route is critical, and each new hold gained at that point can make a big difference in the results. You may also see scores with a 0.01 after them, since moving toward the next hold unsuccessfully awards the climber 0.01 points. This helps distinguish between a climber who made that extra effort to try to go for the next hold versus the climber who did not. Today's lead scores will be combined with Monday's bouldering scores into one overall score. With 100 points available in each of the 2 disciplines, then 200 points is the maximum that any athlete could score given this competition format. And most importantly, the climbers with the top 8 overall scores will advance to the final, which is set to take place on Friday. And now for today's results in men's boulder and lead. You can skip this chapter if you don't want to know the results yet. It was an edge of your seat day at Les Bourget. There were moments of triumph on the lead wall, but also moments of heartbreak. There are some big names who many expected would make it into the men's boulder and lead final, who ultimately did not. It quickly became clear that these competitors were in for a massive challenge today on this lead route. Hamish MacArthur of Great Britain was one of the first climbers to climb somewhat deep into the route, giving him a lead score of 41.5 and combined with Boulder then a score of 79.3. It wasn't clear at the time if that would be enough for Hamish to land in the top 8 and make it into the final. After several more athletes took their turns on the lead wall, one specific section, or actually one specific move, became highlighted as the crux for many of these competitors. After passing the 10-point mark at the end of the first scoring zone, climbers entered into the second scoring zone with these black volumes and pink crimps. This section was perhaps a bit hard to read as there were many different beta possibilities. And well, even just a small foot slip meant you were off the wall. A full 6 of the 20 competitors fell at this same move, either scoring 12 points or 12.1 if they had positive momentum going for the next hold. And as you can tell by that low lead score of 12 or 12.1, they were not very far into the route at that point. Of the 6 who fell here, this included athletes like Tomoe Narasaki of Japan, Sam Abazu of France, who both did well in the boulder semifinal, but with a disappointing fall early in the lead route, Their combined scores were unfortunately not high enough to reach the final. But several climbers did make it deeper into the lead route, with the reigning gold medalist Alberto Gines Lopez of Spain climbing the furthest. He made it into that final scoring zone and ultimately grabbed 72 points in lead. Toby Roberts and Adam Ondra were also stars of this lead semifinal, both with scores of 68.1. I'm always amazed how Ondra can find heel hooks and even knee bars that nobody else does. And by the time that Serato Anraku of Japan came out as the final competitor of the day, he was already guaranteed a spot in the final due to his high score from the bouldering round already being enough of a combined score to put him in 8th place. But that did not stop him from climbing into a 4th place position in lead and a 1st place position overall. Let's take a look at these official results so you can see who qualified for the final and unfortunately those who did not. We've already talked about these top 4 competitors here who have ended up with combined scores over 100 points. Then we have Jakob Schubert of Austria, who also did well in lead today and ended up with a combined score of 98.8. Paul Gempt of France put on a great show for the home crowd, ending up with a combined score of 91.1. And then one of my favorites here, Colin Duffy from the United States, who did well in lead today and ended with a combined score of 87.9. And yes, Hamish MacArthur's lead performance early on was indeed enough for him to secure a spot in the final. I won't read off all of these names in the positions 9 through 20 who did not qualify for the final, but you can see the names here in case you're wondering about anyone specific. Unfortunately, Alex Migos will not be continuing on. He's of course a big name in our sport, and many others here as well who of course had hopes to go to the Olympic final in boulder and lead, but unfortunately this is the end of the road for them in these Paris 2024 Olympic Games. And it is a medal day for women's speed climbing. There were 3 elimination rounds today, known as the quarterfinals, semifinals, and medal finals. Things started out in the quarterfinals with 8 athletes going head-to-head, with the winner of each heat moving on to the next round, while the loser was eliminated. Talk about high stakes. After about 6 or 7 seconds of competing, you find out if you're moving on in the competition or if your Olympic journey is over. Next, we had the semifinals with 4 athletes remaining. The 2 winners of the semifinal heats advanced to race against each other in the gold medal final, while the 2 semifinal losers competed in a race for the bronze medal. And now for today's results in women's speed, including who has won the first Olympic sport climbing medals at the Paris 2024 Games. Now's your chance to click away if you don't want to know the results just yet. It's always exhilarating to watch when you have these high-stakes speed climbing races where Olympic medals are on the line. Things kicked off for the day with quarterfinal number 1, where Miroslav of Poland went up against Romero Perez of Spain. Miroslav ultimately winning that heat with a time of 6.35 seconds. Quarterfinal 2 saw Miroslav's teammate Kowutska going up against Zhu of China. Kowutska ultimately winning that heat with a time of 6.49 seconds. It was a very close race. In quarterfinal 3, I was excited to cheer for Hunt from the US, but unfortunately she had a slip during the race. Salsabila of Indonesia had a great run, finishing with a personal best of 6.54 seconds and winning that heat. Quarterfinal 4 was an exciting race, and it was about as close as you could possibly get, with Made Rita Kusumadevi of Indonesia going up against Deng of China. And look at these times, 6.369, but the winning time, 6.363 by Deng of China. So if I'm doing the math correctly, that is 6/1000ths of a second between advancing to the next round and being eliminated. With 4 competitors left, we were then on to the semifinals with an exciting race between Miroslav of Poland and her teammate Kawuska, also of Poland. This one was a very fast race. Miroslav ended with a time of 6.19, but her teammate did a personal best of 6.34. So Miroslav, the one, of course, who will be advancing there. Then in semifinal 2, we had Salsabila of Indonesia going up against Deng of China. And this one was taken by Deng with a time of 6.38 against Salsabila's 6.41, which was another personal best. Next, we had the two semifinal losers racing against each other for the bronze medal. In this small final, as it's called, we saw Kawuska come out on top with a time of 6.53 seconds, and you could tell she was very excited, maybe even a bit surprised, to be taking home the bronze medal. But then we had the big final taking place at a blistering, almost world record pace. Alexandra Miroslav of Poland came out on top with 6.10 as her time, and Deng of China with a personal best of 6.18. So Miroslav taking the gold and Deng taking the silver. It was pretty cool to see how quickly each of these heats progressed, and then we rapidly found out who the Olympic medalists were. So a huge congratulations to Miroslav, Deng, and Kawuska on being the first Olympic medalists of these games and the first speed climbing Olympic medalists as well. What was your top moment of the day? Be sure to let me know in the comments. And we are certainly in for another exciting day tomorrow. Be sure to tune in for that. And hey, my name is August. Thank you so much for watching.